Baltimore.com.
Thank you for tuning in to Mind Your Business, M.Y.B Talk Radio, the radio talk show that talks all about business. Call in and leave your comment, 1-877-704-1010, or listen live on WOLB's Baltimore.com. For particular news and show information, viewing previous shows, business information, please go to the show's website, which is www.mybtalkradio.com. See me in action, guys, in the studio. Today's topic phrase is the takeover, business to business. Today on M.Y.B Talk Radio, I'll be speaking on the business side of buying businesses out or taking over another business. So listen up, guys. There's a lot of good information. We'll also be speaking about how companies merge together and their more successful stats, possible better profits, throwing a few names out there, and the history, current, and of course we'll close with the dotted line. In recent news, guys, according to CNN Money, Fortune 500 company Verizon, in trying to cut 1,700 jobs, they have offered in return to the employees employee buyouts of the company, where the employee can stake a claim on in Verizon, take a small portion of that, and talk, with the union, speaking on labor contracts that covered nearly half of its 192,000 employees. And because of that, this proves my point. Because of that, 45,000 Verizon employees went on strike, and that was a year ago in August. So, case in point, even though you're a big boy company and you're offering buyouts, of Verizon, still, these are people's jobs. These are people's livelihoods. So that doesn't mean anything. Let's just say they can't buy out anything. This was voluntary, but still. Football lover myself, guys, so watch out. Ray Allen of the Boston Celtics has now been traded to the Miami Heat. So that's great news. I mean, that's Wade, LeBron, Bosh, Allen. So, even though I don't think they've even seen a lineup like that since I believe it was Walker and Gary Payton had went on down to Miami when Shaq and Wade were there, and I think both Jones boys, Eddie and James, were down there. So, anyway, guys, like I said, today's topic will be the takeover, business to business. Speaking on business, taking over, buying out partial and all of other businesses, stats, profits. As I said, I will throw a few names out there and then close the dotted lines. But first, before I go into the back in the day segment, I would like to start with some basics just so everyone is on the same accord. According to TradeSim.com, buyout is a purchase of a company where a controlling interest is transferred to another entity. And many people believe that buyout means the entire company is purchased, but that's not necessarily true. There's many different levels that occur. But, for example, most of the time it's because of 51% of the company is bought in stock. And so, as I said, there are many different types. So let's review that. Management buyout. Management buyout is when the existing management team and the company pool their resources together and are taking control of the company. Leveraged buyout. That's a pretty popular one. A leveraged buyout occurs when an entity is able to take controlling interest of a company's stocks by financing a large portion of these funds. The assets of the purchased company are used as assets for collateral against the loan to purchase the company. So, another example, even speaking of takeover, is friendly takeover. Not the hostile yet. We'll talk about that in a second. Friendly takeover is when the bidder makes a formal offer to the board of directors for the company's board. This offer will contain explicit details of the purchase agreement, which is then presented to the shareholders for approval. And last but not least, the hostile takeover. That scares a lot of people. What happens in that one is the hostile takeover occurs when a bidder attempts to bypass. So instead of going to the lieutenant, they go straight to the general. They bypass the board completely in order to purchase the company. This is triggered by the board rejecting the initial offer of the bidder and goes directly to the shareholders, as they believe the purchase will benefit the investors. So, we'll speak about that. Also, EBO, employee buyout. That's when the employees have the majority stake in their firms. And last but not least, ESOP, employee stock ownership plan. And that's when a complete ESPO is when the employees have free will. Like I said, guys, call in business investors, angel investors, private financial companies. Call in. I want to hear your story. Have you had a buyout, or even just business owners in general? Have you had a buyout? Was it the right thing for you to do? Even when you got the pretty price tag on it, was it a heartbreak for you? Is it something that you really considered? And I'll give you an example of that. A few IT buddies of mine, one in particular, is going through the merge right now. As a matter of fact, someone has approached him, actually, so we'll talk about that later. So let's go back in the day, guys. Just so you know, once again, that number is 1-877-704-1010 and 410-481-1010, or listen live on WOLBbaltimore.com. Don't forget to check out my site for the show, www.MYBtalkradio.com. You can follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and Let's Talk Business on LinkedIn. All right, guys, according to Wikipedia.org, in 1976, a private multinational equity firm, or as I said earlier in the announcements, it can be also stated as angel investor network or venture capital firm, was started by earliest KKR Company LP have one of the earliest leveraged buyouts, and that was in 1989. And it seems if I do have a caller by the name of Teddy, and we also have Thomas holding, but we'll get to Teddy first. Teddy, I appreciate your call. How can I help you today? Can you hear me? Teddy? Hi, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Can you hear me?
I sure can. How can I help you today? What's your comment?
First of all, the Joneses never went down to Miami.
You said the Joneses never went down to Miami?
They never went down to Miami and
I just read online, but I'll check that. I appreciate your comment.
you say on the radio, you don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I'd researched the information I found online, but I appreciate your call. You have an excellent day. All right, Teddy. I appreciate your call. Thomas, let's see what you got to say. Thomas, can you hear me?
My call.
Sure, not a problem.
His name ain't Teddy. He calls these shows just to rattle people's minds.
Okay.
He don't know what he's talking about, but you are 100% right.
Okay.
Going down to Miami, South Beach.
I appreciate it, because I was going to say, all right, now, I hope somebody's not giving me a fake news. I posted it on my website.
You're 100% right, my lady.
I appreciate it.
I'm talking about his buyout and stuff, right?
Yes, sir.
If it's an employee-owned company, right?
Yeah.
On the company.
Okay.
And the CEOs of the company decide that they wanted to sell, would they have to bring that information back to the employees?
The information that they wanted to sell, if they wanted to sell the company or the piece that they have, is that what you're saying?
Lose the money. Bonuses, increase?
That's right. Yeah, exactly. How about that? Well, look, I'm going to answer your question. Thank you so much for not only clearing that one up, but asking your question. I'll answer it right away. I appreciate your call. We'll talk to you on next Monday, okay? Thank you. Well, that $1.1 billion. And as you can imagine, that was huge in '89. I mean, give me a break. Even people like, concerning people like Frederick W. Smith from 1971 to 73 invested or an inherited amount of $4.1 million, along with the personal investment that capital firm or venture firm that was given, and that was $91 million to start Federal Express Corporation, or better known as FedEx. So KKR Company LP also completed another big-time leverage buyout. Here we go again, 2007, which according to Wikipedia.org is the largest buyout to this date, and that was priced at $45 billion. And I know someone was happy at the end of that deal. So anyway, guys, I appreciate your calls. Keep calling in. Give me your comments if you've been bought out, or someone has approached you, you've approached someone else. They went a few years until '89, got bought out by KKR. Then in '99, there were concerns about the tobacco lawsuit liabilities. Of course, that around that time was the big when they started Xing out the smoking in establishments. So that was a big thing. So of course that got spun off to RJR got spun off into a separate company, and RJR Nabisco was renamed as Nabisco Holdings Corporation. and then taken over by Kraft in 1993 due to the fall of stocks. Poor Nabisco. They went through quite a bit of back and forth transitions. I'll give you a rundown. Another buyout. According to ehow.com, here's step-by-step how to take care of that. One, decide naturally what type of business to buy. Examine your personality, your skills, and your talents, experience as to how to go about, what business you want to go for. You don't just want to go for any doggone thing. You want to go for something that is in, your familiar status. Also, have an accountant, an attorney, or banker or broker help you with the search for businesses of sale. They know their stuff better than anyone, so I would do that. Analyze your prospects. Investigate. Find out the history of the business. Do some research, guys. This is important. This is your money, your investment, before deciding to purchase it. Also, examine the business once again, operating expenses, and compare those to similar businesses. Scrutinize the inventory, the competition, supply sources, the current personnel, who's buying and selling things, what's going on. Go into the business, just like looking for a property. When you're about to buy a house, what do? Or rent an apartment. You got to check it out. You got to go into the property, walk around, look to see what's going on. Spend time over there to see how the daily operations are going. Decide on a purchase strategy. You can either buy the balance sheet, which has the assets and liabilities, or just buy the assets and leave the liabilities to the owner. Set a price. An accountant should also be able to help you with that. Determine a estimate depending on the market value. And finally, negotiate the deal. It's a good idea to have a price in mind when you go into the negotiation table. Yes, you want to be calm and focused, but still have the salesman's guns ready and blazing. So when you go in there, you don't shake too far from that. Calling Comcast and AT&T Broadband. That's just to name a few. And another big one was Provident became M&T, and they're doing big things. They've been doing big things for a few years now. They did M&T Stadium. They fixed that up, and it's huge and very well built. So here's another old school. If there's anyone who's looking to buy out Best Buy or take a franchise, I would reevaluate that and explore your options. According to Forbes.com, Best Buy might be heading towards extinction in the next few years. And Larry Downs wrote the article on Forbes, and he says that despite the disappearance of competitors like Circuit City, the company is losing market share. And in 2011, Best Buy dropped 40% in its value in stock, and it also has a rating of B-. That's according to TheStreet.com, and the market cap is less than $9 billion. So do your research, folks. This is very strong. The end of the show. We want to go to the dotted line. What happens when you sign a contract? You sign the dotted line. So when most of us are tired of working 9 to 5, 7 to 3, 6 to 2, whatever other shift that is not through our own business, we finally make the decision to work for our own business. Some of us feel the need to start from scratch, start from the drawing board, start from our own ideas of dreams that will something we really want. What did Maya Angelou say in 2005? Do something you really enjoy doing and do it so well they can't take their eyes off of you. So that's what we have to do. However, some of us have figured out that we don't have to necessarily recreate the wheel. We can improvise. We can buy partial, all, or part of, or take over the entire business, another business. Yet even with that, we have to be savvy. We have to treat it as if it was our baby. How many times have we gone into new management and the switch wasn't good at all? The customer service is horrible. People are not good. Even the management is horrible. So it's time to focus. Keep determination. Do your research. Plan for now and in the future. And not destroy, but conquer. So that's it, guys. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you tune in every single Monday, 1:30 to 2 p.m. I'm signing off. My name is Robin-Annette from Mind Your Business, MYBTalkRadio.com. Check us out. Like us on Facebook. Squeeze that in on Radio 1's WOLB 1010 AM in Baltimore.
Relax.